Hi, everybody, and welcome back. It's your girl, Angelic Ray, and we're going to give it some time for people to come in as the notifications go out. We are going to be getting into the solar annular eclipse happening on the new moon, October 2nd of 2024. Hello, everyone. Welcome. And just gonna go grab my tea really quick, which is right next to me, and put my incense on. Make sure you have your tea ready, your water ready, you vibing out with me. I'm gonna get into all signs, let y'all know what house they're gonna be falling in for this eclipse, and I'm gonna give you the time according to Eastern Standard Time, and so you can convert that to your own time zone. And then I'm going to pull some cards. Oh, we are already in this portal anyways. Like, today's energy was just so beautiful for me, but I know a lot of people are going through massive changes as well with this, and I'm not excluded from the changes just because I'm saying it's beautiful. You know, that was my experience of the changes today, for the energies to come, because this energy has a lot to do with relationships, and starting with the relationship with yourself and extending out to the relationship with others, right? Because that's the truth of the matter. Even if it's Libra and it's connected to, you know, your relationships with others and whatnot, balancing out the scales, what needs to be balanced, what is imbalanced in your life. That's an internal thing that reflects outward, right? So let me just grab my tea really quick. Don't forget to share the live, y'all. Share the live. That's absolutely free, but it helps the channel get seen, right? Allow yourselves to have a paper and pen if necessary. And let me know if somebody actually wants to be I was going to do this on YouTube so that my time doesn't get cut off. I keep doing this. A moderator on here, let me know. I will put you as a moderator. And then more than likely we are going to get cut off, because I had every intention on doing this live on YouTube. And here we are. It's just habit. I'm guilty of it. But, you know, it's all good. All right, you're gonna see like some smoke here from my incense. Burning some frankincense. Shout out to Archangel Michael on his feast day today, giving thanks to the divine angelic warrior and protector that keeps us sacred, safe, and protected. Those of you may not resonate, but I do call on his benevolence and truth and righteous side. You know, and that's a homie G. That's one of my homie G's. And yeah, so shout out to him, right? I'm always grateful for the divine supporting us in the ways that the divine does by bringing angelic forces and other forces, celestial forces and whatnot, right? To support our mission and our path. Essentially, this is our journey, and everything is an angle of light that reflects our internal dialogue, our internal relationship with ourselves. So take a sip of tea. Let me know where you are tuning in from. This is happening live on September 29th, and the solar annular eclipse in Libra's new moon, and the new moon for Libra is happening October 2nd. So the actual time of the eclipse is going to start at 1:47 Eastern Standard Time. And then it's going to get to the peak around 3:01. And then it ends around 4 p.m.-ish, right? And the new moon happens at 2:49 Eastern Standard Time, p.m. So convert that to your time zone, if you will. All right. We also have, So what this solar eclipse means is that the moon is going to pass in front of the sun, and it's going to be casting a shadow onto the earth, right? So we have BC, Canada. We have North Carolina. Okay, all right. There's other people, but y'all not, I haven't seen where y'all tapping in from. Oh, shout out to Connie. Her birthday is October 6th. Happy birthday. Connie, actually, reach out to me. Because during October 6th, if you are where you say you are, then I will be near you. But if you are not, then I will not be near you. And so there's that. So we are going to get into the readings. We also have the moon conjoining Mercury, which today specifically we had the sun conjoin Mercury at the south node. And this solar annular eclipse happening in the sign of Libra, the Libra is the south node as well. Hook up your StreamYard and you can broadcast multiple social medias in sync at the same time. I know I definitely need to do that. I definitely been thinking about that. So thank you for the reminder. For sure, that is something I need to get acquainted with. Step out of my comfort zone, right? Literally, as I said that, like the spiral. What's up, St. Jose? Welcome. Gratitude for you all for being in this space with me, sharing this divine essence of love that is trickling and multiplying in our lives for our highest and greatest good. All right. So today we had the sun and Mercury conjoin the south node in Libra. All right. I also posted the rest of the astrology, so y'all can just look on the page and look at the rest of the astrology there. But why that is important is because we're going to have the moon conjoin Mercury, and then we also have Mars in Cancer sextiling with Saturn today, but we're going to have the moon squaring Mars in Cancer. So today specifically was a portal that was initiating even the steps forward. I always say pay attention 6 weeks before and 6 weeks after for the potency of an eclipse. Now, the eclipse energy tends to extend itself and stay for up to 6 months anyway. So this is the last eclipse that we're going to have, with the lunar nodes being in Libra and Aries. The next eclipse that we have is going to be when the lunar nodes shift into the sign of Pisces. So, this is really a change for new beginnings, right? This is a lot of balancing out the relationships that is not honoring reciprocation, that is not equally yoked to you. And even, it's about knowing how to take accountability of your energy and just allowing the scales of justice within to be, and that's what Archangel Michael also represents, is justice, right? So it was definitely a divine portal day for that energy, for divine justice to come into play with the sun and Mercury conjoin the south node. So on October 2nd, so that I'm not confusing you all, September 29, which is today, we had the sun and Mercury conjoin the south node, which is why I'm bringing it up. We've already been experiencing, we were in between portals, right? We were in between eclipses. So there's been a lot of chaos. There's been a lot of changes, especially, they spoke about today specifically, the asteroid, also known as the second sun, Neo, right, from the Draco constellation during the year of the dragon, right, actually being activated and closest to the earth today, where it's going to be for like the next, I believe, 8 weeks. And so during this solar annular eclipse and this shadow that's being casted, you know, what an eclipse is exactly how it sounds, right? So the moon passing by the sun, casting that shadow. There's a lot of shadows that's going to be coming up to the forefront. We've already been seeing this, but this is going to be an amplification so that you can really, truly close out those cycles through the shadow integration that is necessary. That's what the energy today with the sun conjoining Mercury in this south node was great for integrating, right? Or at least being in awareness, right? Whereas with the moon, it is also bringing it to your awareness, but it's going to be a lot more subjective to your emotions. It's going to be a lot more of a mental fortitude type thing, right? And so this is why it's important to know the astral weather, because then you can utilize everything as a tool, right? If you know you have to build something and it requires a star screwdriver, but you're using a flathead, it might take a little bit longer. It's not impossible. You can still turn what you need to turn. You can still turn the screw with a flathead, but it's not going to do the same job as fast if you were just utilizing the stars, right? The star screwdriver. Or, you know, if you're using like an Allen key and you don't even have a flathead, or you don't have, you know, what are you really doing, you know? So I guess an Allen key is a type of screwdriver. That wasn't the best analogy, but whatever. Yeah, I kind of get my point, is utilizing the tools that is beneficial to you for what it is that you are establishing and building within yourself and around you, the world around you, right? Excuse my voice, y'all. I am going through ascensions. I'm going through healing. So my Vahistara is still going through massive upgrades. Drinking some horsetail tea to bring some soothingness onto my bones, and I'm so grateful and thankful for that. If you know, you know, and if not, you can do some research. So yeah, you know, during eclipses, sometimes there is a shadow casted on your psyche, bringing like almost like an appearance of being blindsided or not fully being able to see with clear eyes, which is why I was saying today would have been a great day to bring things up to your psyche, bring it to your awareness and integrate. Not to say that during this eclipse it's not good. It's great for that. You actually want to start rewriting these contracts, rewriting the narrative, your relationship with self and others, right? And that's something that should be a day-to-day thing any the fuck way. But this is really like, you're gonna see major breakups, divorces happening, like major closing out of cycles from what already started last year, right? Even when the lunar nodes were getting activated, right, 6 months ago. So really paying attention to what happened last year, October, paying attention what happened 6 months ago, right? Hello, lunar. Look at lunar 420 eclipse, right? So we're talking about eclipse energy here, even though this is a solar eclipse. But, you know, you really want to, you know, if you're single, this is something about like, you know, there's so many changes in your values that you have been establishing that's like, it's going to possibly lead you into a new relationship coming up, you know, when the lunar nodes shift. But definitely journal. You're going to want to journal. You're going to want to pay attention to your dreams. So if you are Aries, I'm going to get into the cards as well. Of course, I'd join when in being spoken about. Oh, yes, exactly. You'll join in when it's being spoken about. So I'm going to get into each zodiac sign, and I'm going to get into the houses also. And then also with the moon squaring Mars and Cancer, this is going to be a lot of passive-aggressive possible arguments that could occur, because Mars and Cancer is in its detriment. It's really uncomfortable, but it's really emotional. The shadow side of that is passive-aggressive energy, and the shadow side of that too is being emotionally impulsive. Somebody who's just like being in the space of like vengeance or spite, like being spiteful, being manipulative, in that space because they're emotionally hurt. This could also be, you know, needing to work through or heal through divine mother wounds, right? And so I'm going to be completely honest, like, you know, even people that don't know how to be grateful, like I had a neighbor, and I don't give a fuck if my neighbor sees this. Hi, I'm talking about you if you know which neighbor you are, right? Like, there's a lot of neighbors that I connect with. They're dope. I embrace my community. However, you know, sometimes we overextend ourselves for people that do not know how to properly receive and reciprocate, right? And so that's what the solar eclipse is actually like bringing to the awareness to close out. But again, there may be some shadow periods. So during the days coming up to the solar eclipse would have been a lot of revelations that's coming on. Like I said, with the sun and Mercury conjoined the South Node, this was bringing that revelation, right? Yes, from me, says a G. Yes, you already know. And so, with this like neighbor, like I had a neighbor that, you know, I would look out for, I would help, and like, you know, it's like, lend me some sugar. I am your neighbor. And like, you show love, you're there with your community, XYZ, and, you know, not everybody knows how to reciprocate that. And so you see how they're, you know, possibly it's not the fair exchange and whatnot. And so you might find yourself saying, okay, you know what? Don't ask me for some sugar because I'm going to give you salt for your wounds. Like, it's time for you to actually take accountability of your own wounds and heal yourself. I can't save you. You know, I may have been courteous. I may have been considerate. I may have been helpful. I may have been adding, contributing value into your life that was conducive to your growth. However, it is no longer conducive to your growth, and it is keeping me in a hindrance state. And so the next time you come to me without doing the inner work, the only thing I can give you, baby, is not sugar, it's salt. You're going to have to put some salt in the womb, and it's going to hurt, but it's to help you heal, right? And so there's a little bit of that energy that can come through, right? Where it's like a divine protection of boundaries that's necessary in this space, not to completely be selfish, but to, yes, it's to honor the love with self, but also to honor the growth and the highest and greatest good of all involved, right? Like, are you being kind to somebody to the point where it's enabling them to be fucking stagnant in their growth, right? And like, these are things that we have to consider. A lot of the times we want to help our neighbors or our family and our friends and our loved ones, right? We want to be there for the people that we know we can see their highest potential, even when they possibly cannot see it, right? And so that's really an energy that's going to be coming up. Now, in certain instances, for example, I mentioned like, you know, if they coming to me and asking for sugar, I'm gonna say, hey, I don't got sugar for you. I have salt. It's not from a space of spitefulness or vengeance or anything. It's from a space of necessity. This is what is going to keep the balance and harmony for the highest and greatest good of all involved. However, in other instances, oh yeah, somebody might be throwing the salt on purpose, you know, without them having to come asking for some sugar. They're just being spiteful or they're being vengeful. That's not the same thing. So having your discernment is going to be really important, especially, you know, we spoke about like the second moon being activated or the asteroid Neo, right? So it's like thinking about the Matrix and how it's connected to Draco, right? And the year, the dragon, like which dragons are you connecting with? The dragon in your DNA? Are you balancing out the scales? Dragons have scales. Which dragons are you riding on? Are you slaying a dragon? Are you riding a dragon? Are you the dragon? Right? And I know like this sounds like I'm just saying a whole lot of like gibberish, but it's really going to be up to you to really connect on a deep cellular celestial level with yourself to balance out these scales, because the South Node is about the past. Right? And this portal is about rewriting the narrative to bring justice and divine order for your highest and greatest good, and releasing all the hindrance, releasing the spite, releasing all the passive aggressiveness and all the bullshit that's not serving you, releasing that shit in the past timelines, right? Perhaps neutralizing it from all timelines, right? Transmuting it, transforming it, whatever your specific gift is, right? And so I did want to bring out the passive aggressiveness because, you know, sometimes, and again, I did mention this in the astro energy weather report that I did earlier today. And in my post, if you didn't look at that, I really suggest that you take a look at that, because I gave an example of a guy, but it doesn't have to be with guys. Like this, women do it too, right? It has an appearance of being the good guy or being this person that, you know, essentially they're doing things with an alternative motive or a hidden motive, right? To get some sort of reward, recognition, or, you know, to manipulate the outcome so that they look like they are the good guy in this situation. Not necessarily because they're pure in their heart and it's just unconditional love. They have no expectations. No, they have an expectations. So that's what the moon squaring Mars and Cancer is highlighting during this time. So if, you know, from now to the new moon, you're recognizing certain people having these hidden motives with you, you know, being passive aggressive. Take note of that. Take note of that and allow yourself to be accountable for how you are balancing up your skills to keep your relationship with yourself and with others sacred, safe, and protected, and honoring the highest and greatest good of all involved. Because if you are in a space of people pleasing, that's a betrayal to self, and then the scales are imbalance. They're not balanced with themselves. Hi, sexy spirit. Love you, Parish. Welcome. And so just kind of like natron for special individual. I'm not sure what you mean by that. But yeah, so let's get into it, y'all, because I know this is gonna cut off at the hour mark. So I just, before I get into the zodiac signs, I just really also wanted to say, like, there is going to be a lot of love energy that's coming through this portal as well. As much as it seems like there's going to be a lot of divorces, a lot of breakups, a lot of closing out of those chapters, perhaps there was some separation or abortion or divorces that already occurred that needs to be closed out all the way through. Like maybe the process started, but it didn't quite finished. You know, there's going to be some sort of like event or awakening or some sort of trigger that may come up around you for you to say, you know what, I just need to have closure with myself, and I need to close out this cycle so that I can move on with my life, right? And then there's also going to be a lot of like beautiful, healthy, meaningful connections that perhaps these were like past life soulmates or past life like soul tribe connecting, that's creating like sacred marriage within, right? This could also be like dormant abilities in your cosmic DNA and your physical DNA, like all is one and the same, right? You are who you are, being awoken at this time so that you can actually allow yourself to integrate with that ability and use it moving forward, right? It's almost like a sense of responsibility gets activated and triggered, and you're like, like you find yourself in wholeness, you find yourself in sacred marriage with yourself, right? But again, everyone is going to be different. So Aries, we're going to start with Aries here. Y'all are going to be feeling this energy in the 7th house. And so that's, Aries, that's going to be really uncomfortable for you. I'm not going to lie, because the moon is squaring Mars and Cancer. Again, Mars rules the sign of Aries. Mars is happy in the sign of Aries. Mars is not quite happy in the sign of Cancer, right? And so there's going to be a lot of like passion. There's going to be a lot of emotions coming through, but this is really going to bring you to a space, if we're completely honest, this energy is really asking you to really check, like, do your checks and balances when it comes down to your relationship with yourself. If you're finding yourself still playing the blame game with the people external to you, then more than likely you haven't done the shadow work, or you're not integrating the lessons. If you have been doing the shadow work and you're coming to the awareness, but you're still playing a blame game with that outside of you, then it's really an invitation for you to go in and do some integration work with yourself so that you can see the higher picture of the sacred marriage. A lot of the times, Aries, let's just face it, y'all be the first ones to curse somebody out or tell them something. Y'all can be impulsive and fiery and vengeful. And with the moon squaring Mars and Cancer, y'all might get really triggered, whether it's through a family event, or it's a neighbor or friend, some sort of close relationship. But like long-term relationships, kind of like you might feel really triggered during this solar eclipse, frustrated, even maybe getting frustrated really fast or something like that, and you might say some slick shit out the mouth that it is passive aggressive, it's maybe not as fiery, charged up as it normally is, but it's still throwing shade at someone, and that person catches the shade, and then it can become a dispute, right? It can become a disagreement or even an argument. So that is something to kind of just be mindful of. If you are in a relationship, it could be as simple as maybe you come and you say some slick shit about your partner, about something that you really don't like, but you've been suppressing it, haven't kept it real with them, and you do it in a way where it's almost like the shade is their fault when it's really been your fault for not saying something sooner, right? So something like that can occur. It could also be maybe you're tired of people taking advantage of you, and you're wanting to say no. It's absolutely okay to say no without explaining yourself, which y'all know y'all don't have to explain yourselves and stuff like that. But it's also okay to not have double standards and not expect people to have to explain themselves to you. Right? And so there's going to be a lot of that type of mimicking in your relationships during this time. And there could be, little tedious things that come up if you are in a relationship. Just be mindful if you're feeling aggravated, if you're feeling, like, because the moon is also going to be conjoined Mercury prior to the square to Mars. That's where the communication thing can come into play, right? So this could also be an invitation to allow yourself to just do something for self in a way where it's selfish, but also selfless in honoring your partner. So maybe, maybe you've been wanting to do something, different, and your partner's been wanting to go out on a date. This would be a great example of going somewhere new for a date, to experience a date and taking them with you, right? Now, during that date, it's possible that you get into a bicker, right? And so just being mindful of that. But your invitation, even though this is in the 7th house, this is to create a sacred marriage with yourself and the people that you are in relationships with, whether it's business relationship, marriage relationship, companionship, etc., right? This could be, family, but it's mostly with your spouse. The 7th house is the house of like marriage and spouse with that. And so this could also be that if you don't find yourself arguing with somebody, perhaps your partner comes to you feeling really frustrated and tired, and they got into an argument with somebody or something, or they get into an argument and you feel like you have to defend them type thing, right? Or you feel like you want to get petty and kind of be passive aggressive, like, you got to deal with that because you put yourself in that situation. You're not necessarily wrong for that. The great thing for y'all, Aries, because Aries is North Node, and this is going to be, a South Node, closing out of chapters, really giving yourself that self-love and standing your ground. No is no, and it's okay, but you don't have to be passively aggressive to say that. You don't have to be spiteful. You don't have to be vengeful. You can just be very clear about what it is that you desire in your life. Take this opportunity to really say, focus on what it is that you want to move forward to, and you will have a great solar eclipse. One of the cards that came out here, see, sacred marriages, right, is, and you got double 4. So 44s or 4 may be significant to you. Here we have the Shaman of Wands in the bottom of the deck here. And I know this camera, my lighting, I definitely am going to start like changing things around. Again, I did change things around, and that's kind of what, messed it up. Let me maybe you can see it better here. So this is y'all standing in your power, Aries, with the 4 of Pentacles here. There might be some things, and with the 4 of Wands here, this could also signify that, like, perhaps there was some like suppressed or repressed emotions. Like I mentioned, like there were things that you didn't talk about that was tedious, that was annoying you and whatnot, that you might actually like lash out and say. So this is about liberating yourself from that which you've been holding on to, that which you've been restricting yourself. If you're feeling stuck here, all right, this is asking yourself, am I enabling my partner in this way? Am I enabling myself to be stuck? So any stagnant energies, really take initiative to see what you may be holding on to, letting go if there is any repressed or suppressed emotions, really vocalizing that during this South Node, whether it's writing a letter to yourself and burning it, writing a letter to a loved one and burning it if you don't want to give it to them directly. But you're going to need to allow yourself to bring this shadow, right? The shadow that is being casted on this space, really bring it to your awareness rather than continuing to suppress it and repress it. Because what's going to end up happening, we're going to be completely honest here, is y'all going to have a very difficult time moving forward. The next few years will be very difficult if you don't allow yourself to either do the shadow work and integrate with your shadows and really Allow the light that is shining, that is showing. Anytime a shadow is casted, there's an obstruction from light, right? And so that obstruction of light is the repressed emotion, is the suppressed emotion, is that which you are holding on to too tight, that is not beneficial to you, right? And so you want to get into a space of celebration, and you probably are feeling like you're holding yourself back, or you possibly didn't feel like you were worthy. There could have been a lot of like that type of emotions, right? So we're going to move forward here onto Taurus. Taurus, this energy is happening in your 6th house, which is, you know, daily routines, your work environment. I'm going to take a sip here. Thank you. Oh. All right. You know, this energy with Mercury being here in your 6th house, your daily routines here, and it being a solar eclipse, I would say, you know, be mindful for this distractions that may occur in your daily routines, or perhaps you might have some plans that end up changing, right? With Mars, with the moon squaring Mars in Cancer, this could be a change of plans in your daily routines here. This could also be that perhaps, you know, this solar eclipse is trying to activate a part of you to be courageous and step out of your comfort zone from that which you've been doing every single day, but maybe it's not working out for you anymore, right? Taurus, like, y'all can be a bit stubborn sometimes, right? And so, the beautiful aspect is that both Taurus and Libra are ruled by by Venus, and Libra is like the masculine energy of Venus, whereas Taurus is the feminine energy of Venus. So this energy in the 6th house really allows you to balance that out with healing, because the 6th house is also healing. It's also like pets, right? And so Taurus, you know, if you have any pets or companions, like furry companions or anything like that, and maybe they've been kind of like sick or something, you know, it's really making sure that, you know, you're paying attention, you're observing you know, the wellness of your pets, making sure that everything is functioning in their highest good. You know, if they're dealing with like a tummy ache, you might want to deal with that, right? Instead of letting it override. For some of you, this could even be like an unexpected like emergency or surgery happening for you or a pet, right? If you have pets, Taurus. So again, this is stuff that you just kind of want to be mindful that can happen during an eclipse like this. That's so important. This could also be that like if you knew that if you have a pet and you knew your pet was sick, and you didn't do nothing about it, that this eclipse can amplify and escalate it way faster than you actually anticipated, which leads to having to go to like, you know, the vet or an emergency care and stuff like that. So really take that into consideration. If it's something that you didn't know, this could have just been that this is something that your pet have been dealing with. Obviously, if it gets to that point, right, where it's super noticeable. A lot of the times pets don't like to show their owners that they're suffering or in pain and stuff like that. So when they start doing that, 9 out of 10 times they've been dealing with this for a while, this discomfort, right? So just paying attention to that, paying attention to your own wellness, your own health. You know, perhaps this could be an injury or a surgery that could occur. So be mindful of that. This could also be that, you know, those things don't come up. You know, maybe you just need a second opinion or something if you have some worries. There could be a lot of anxiety that comes up during this time too, because Mars in Cancer does bring up a lot of like anxiety. And for women, this could also be like things going on with like the breasts and stuff like that. So you might find yourself, you know, like for example, And this is just an example, but like Mars in Cancer can show up in a way of like radiation or like breast cancer or something like that, right? And so just being mindful of that. It doesn't necessarily mean that you have it. It could just be that maybe you're feeling those symptoms because it's a collective energy, or it could be, you know, just like, you needing like a second opinion, and that it may not necessarily be that. So, you know your life better than I do. I'm just giving a general overview as to like how this energy has the potential to look out. Obviously, if you want to take into consideration where Taurus lands in your chart, right? And I should have said this in the beginning of the video, but like you want to listen to your rising sign first, then you listen to your sun sign and your moon sign last. The moon is like more internal and subjective, right? So Taurus, let's see here what messages y'all got here also. Again, this could also be like changes. I mentioned that. So like this could also be that some of y'all end up like y'all could be losing a job or get hired for a new job that you were like anticipating. Maybe you were putting out applications for a long time to try to get a job, and nobody was calling you, and then unexpectedly you like get a call for an interview or something like that. Or you had an interview like months ago and they call you and they want to like hire you now. That's something that could occur also, right? But this also has the potential to like be gossip around the work environment because of the moon conjoin Mercury in this energy. Remember, it's Libra energy, is very airy and stuff like that. So there could be some sort of like gossip or like lies that come to what Spirit is saying, like if there's any gossip or lies, allow it to play itself where the truth will reveal itself. You stay in your power. Don't even fucking feed that energy. Like don't feed that narrative. Stay in your power and it will reveal itself that the people who perhaps maybe entertained the gossip or the lies will be made, they will see the truth for what it is. And so, but that also will reveal onto you the people who maybe you don't necessarily want to tell your business to, or maybe don't want to keep around you and whatnot, right? So cook their food. Yes. Oh, yes. Giving Pepto-Bismol, or even like if it's any form of like food poisoning or something like that, say like activated charcoal, right? And like exactly like a child dose, or go according to. So Taurus, y'all are in your energy. Y'all have the Hierophant here. The Hierophant is connected to Taurus energy, if I'm not mistaken. I feel like that's wrong right now. Excuse me. I'm really hot in this channel. The Hierophant. So this could also be that, perhaps there's a lot of lessons that y'all were, thank you. The sixth house is also the house for healing. So this could be perhaps also, having a doctor visit. This could be that there were certain body parts that is gonna require your attention, or some sort of emotional or mental psychological healing that may be coming up from things that you repressed from your past. This could have been like childhood traumas. This could have been maybe from a past relationship or a marriage, or something along the lines that does need healing, that y'all been stubbornly trying to ignore. It's almost like you've been pretending that you're not repressing or suppressing these emotions, and you're pretending that you're healed, but all these like ailments or disalignments or certain things are coming up that it seems uncomfortable and painful, because it is showing how you need to actually heal from yourself to create this sacred marriage within yourself. You have the keys to your healing here, and it's up to you to actually allow yourself to heal. And it's going to require you to be honest with yourself and have faith in yourself. Perhaps this could even be like needing to forgive yourself or forgive others, even though it may or may not mean that the people you're forgiving has to like have access to your life, right? This could also be like, if it's a childhood trauma, it could have been based on like your parents' marriage or something like that that caused you some sort of trauma. This could have been a family divorce. Maybe your parents had divorced or split up, and that caused you certain traumas that you was like not realizing that you were holding on to, or there's some sort of like generational pattern that's there for you to kind of like break, that you had been tapping into. This could also be that perhaps there's some healing, like if you're married and you're in a relationship, perhaps there's certain like traumas or patterns that need healing, that's from like your parents' marriage or something like that, that you've been like repeating, that's not necessarily serving the highest and greatest good for like you and your union. Taurus. In the bottom of the deck here, you have the Seven of Swords. So definitely a need to reevaluate your ego, your defense mechanisms. Like I said, like, you know, y'all have a way of being stubborn sometimes. This is about like really reevaluating, like, are you robbing yourself from the opportunity of actually being in alignment with your highest and greatest good, because you're pretending that you're happy when you're not, right? Or you're pretending that everything is okay when really, you know, things may not be as okay as you're making them to see here. All right. This could also be that perhaps there's some sort of lies or cheating, or you know, I'm just gonna say this is not everybody's story, but there could be a Taurus out there that feel, you know, maybe they lost their relationship due to somebody cheating or a home wrecker or something like that, and they just feel you know, they feel robbed or of an opportunity or an experience with their partner, or they lied to or something. This could also be that like perhaps there's some sort of this could also be, being that it's the sixth house and it's healing, like were you acting like your parents if you have children and needing to heal that? There's something about needing to checking your ego during this time, in the space in which you've been stubborn and not allowing yourself to move forward in here. So and this could have something to do with like a marriage or something. So it could be childhood marriages that, or you know, your parents' marriage, or some sort of healing. Even though you're not the fifth house, I'm getting childhood energy, but it doesn't have to be. It could just be, you know, from a past relationship, from a current relationship, something that you're cheating yourself out of, and you're pretending that everything's okay when it's not. And your ego needs to get checked, and you need to reevaluate your patterns and your stubbornness and your defense mechanism, so that you can be in true harmony with yourself to move forward here, Taurus. Woo! That was long-winded. I could be really long-winded sometimes. All right, so we're gonna move on to Gemini, and I really wanted to write down. I'm gonna have to write down the times. Gemini, this energy is happening in your fifth house. So The fifth house is the house of fun. It's the house of short-term relationships, or, it's the house. The seventh house is the house of marriage. The fifth house is the house of children and relationships. Okay. This can be short-term relationships. It's not necessarily have to be. But a lot of the time this is flings, especially if we see Gemini up in there, right? Gemini in the fifth house is more than likely like a fling type of situation, or inner child healing as well. This could also be wanting children, needing to heal. If you're, a woman, perhaps there's some sort of like wound healing that you need to do. Maybe there was like some infertility issues that you were dealing with that you're having to like navigate through to heal from. This could also be like, perhaps you lost a child, or there's some sort of like, maybe there was an abortion or a miscarriage or something that, is requiring you to kind of just do some sort of like healing in that space. Even if you are a man, right? Like men also have to allow themselves to heal from grieving like abortions or miscarriages that they're past, this could have been from a past relationship. This could be from a current relationship. Nonetheless, you got to keep in mind that Geminis is naturally ruled by Mercury also, and the moon is going to be conjoined Mercury. So this could be perhaps you have a baby mother, baby father, a past relationship with somebody that you wanted to have children with or something like that, and they give you a call. It could feel like a Mercury retrograde type of experience for you, Geminis. This could also be that perhaps there's some sort of like if you have children, right? For those of you Gemini, if you have children, this could be reconnecting with children, reconciling with children. If that's something, this could be going to court for, to deal with something with your children. This could be that perhaps, your children are in school and some unexpected event happens at the school and you get a phone call from your child's school. These are different things that you want to pay mind to, or perhaps, you thinking that it's a good day, you're going to go to work and your child has like a fever or something like that, like something unexpected that could be surrounding your children, something unexpected that has to do with like past life relationships. I'm saying past lives, but like even in this lifetime, right? Like, so like any exes or something that like may have, maybe they feel like they still have access to you, but there's a need to like do some like closure there. Maybe there's a need for like forgiveness or reconciliation. But for a lot of you, you really gonna have to use your discernment when it comes down to quote unquote this reconciliation. Because remember, there is a shadow that is being casted with this solar eclipse. And so is this relationship a trauma bond, right? And were you still allowing yourself to connect with this energy through trauma, or is this an actual like relationship that it's like maybe y'all were better off as friends, but y'all made the mistake in having a relationship, and so learning to reconcile your differences and like grow some sort of like platonic relationship. Everybody has a different thing, right? So that the fifth house is also like entertainment. So Geminis, for some of you, maybe you work with like music. This could be like utilizing this energy to help you integrate some shadow work or navigate some shadow work with music. So tapping into music, tapping into even maybe you are like an influencer on social media and you're going to be doing more talking or sharing some sort of like interview or whatever the case. It could be a lot of communication happening at this time. Damn, that's what I wanted to say in the beginning of this video for all signs. So I'm gonna say it now. I might have to cut this, but one of the things that this energy with the moon conjoined Mercury square Mars and Cancer, and this is for all signs. I'm sorry, Gemini, please forgive me. Is you might find a lot of people on social media bashing the masculine collective, but more so men bashing other men as opposed to females bashing other females. This could be men who think that another man is immature, or it could be like bullying energy type thing. There's a strong, if you see that and there's some masculine energies that thinking they're on a hierarchy, a lot of the times this is the shadow of the inner child that's actually hurt, trying to deflect what the other masculine energy is actually projecting out as their own individual authentic self, right? And so there's a lot of like immaturity or bullying that can happen amongst the brothers, due to like maybe mother wounds, or they're dealing with like issues with the divine feminine, and so they're deflecting that on other brothers as a mean of trying to alpha male, the situation. So there's more of an invitation to separate yourself from those types of connections and bring yourself in the connection of like brotherhoods that's focusing on like healing and harmony and collaborating, healthy, meaningful connections, right? That's what the South Node wants to bring to you. A balanced, equally yoked relationship. Hurt people, heal people. And it's okay to like, connect with some hurt people as a healer and whatnot, right? But the moment there's like gossip or there's like arguments and bickering, especially on social media, it's really childish. It's really and again, because the moon is conjoined Mercury is connected to the child, so it is childish. It's petty, and it's quite frankly corny if you ask me, but it's also passive aggressive. So brothers trying to like, and it could be to perhaps, try to possibly to influence a narrative, but to impress some sort of feminine, right? Like the feminine energies, right? So that's something to keep in mind for all signs. I might have to like tweak this and put this in there. But going back into it, so Gemini in the 5th house, right, with children. So even though the 5th house is not necessarily music itself, it is the entertainment, and so social media influences, right? We have the Ace of Swords here. So this could be needing to cord cut, like I said, from past relationships. This could also be, truth revealing itself, or the need for some sort of like communication. This could also be like a past lover, and you really needing to decide here. You have here the Daughter of Cups. So this could be some sort of communication with a daughter, with a child. If you have a child, this could also just be like some sort of communication when it comes down to love, to forgiveness, maybe an apology or a love offering here. And then there's the 4 of Swords here. So yeah, this could be a past life relationship that's trying to come up. That spirit is saying, allow yourself to rest, allow yourself to meditate. Don't jump to conclusions, or don't jump to this, to this proposal right away. Really allow yourself time to, because Geminis, let's just face it, y'all will jump into an opportunity way too fast before you even really think about it, because it feels real and true to you. And it's like, okay, like, you're going to have to really tune in with your intuition to listen to this. There could be a lot of downloads. This could be a lot of meditations here. But there is a lot of immaturity here, because you have the Page, right? So you have the Daughter of Cups, and then in the bottom of the deck, you have the Daughter of Pentacles here. So, you know, this is something that's very immature. It's not something, you know, this could also be maybe perhaps dating somebody and like really needing to take the initiative to get to know somebody. Maybe you're trying to like rush this experience and you haven't really gotten the opportunity to get to know them, right? You're just like trying to like jump into like marriage without actually like really taking your time to like date this person and get to know them. So when with that, like the opportunity with it being in like some sort of immaturity, is it gives you the room to mature. It gives you the room to grow, right? And so if it's something where you're even like children or something like that, that again, that gives you the opportunity to grow, to learn from this experience and to bring the past, to neutralize the past that's not serving you. And y'all, the forward onto Cancer. And so Cancer, this energy is happening in your 4th house. So with this happening here in the 4th house, this solar eclipse could be major changes to your living environment, major changes. Maybe it's as simple as like changing, you know, getting rid of your furniture and getting new furniture, but this could be changing your complete location. This could be even changes with your parents, specifically with your mother. What's cooking? Swinging up to say hi. Hello. Hola. Aloha. Thank you for coming. I'm just doing the eclipse readings right now. So I'm continuing on. Didn't get to Scorpio yet. I'll be getting there though. So with the 4th house, you know, this can be maybe you feeling more introverted. Now, because Cancer, the moon is squaring Mars in Cancer, and we spoke about this passive-aggressive energy. This could be that perhaps if you live with other people, they might have some passive-aggressive attitude towards you, or you may not be so upfront with a situation that may be bothering you, right? Like there could be some sort of disruption or distraction or discomfort in your home environment, in your you know, in something connected to your parents, specifically with your mother. If there's some stuff with like your mother that you haven't disclosed or confronted, that could be a thing. You know, maybe just like I mentioned, for a lot of y'all, this could be like moving into a new place. That's very likely to occur. This could be more like introverted or needing to close out like karmic cycles when it comes down. Like you might even take a trip back home, right? To the place where like you were born at or something like that. This could also be that like there's some sort of, maybe you need to renew your lease or something like that, right? So Cancer, this energy is definitely going to be bringing you changes in those areas. And these changes are, again, it's not so that you repeat the cycle, but change the cycle, write a new narrative. You close out those chapters, which is not serving you. So for example, some of you Cancers may be feeling like, you know what, I want to move because things ain't working out here. The people, the place, the XYZ is this type of experience, right? And then so you move to a new location, but you haven't quite done the inner work or shadow integration or the shadow work to like really change your ways and confront things that have to do with you. And you can't run away from your problems. Like it doesn't matter if you move to a new location. If this is a problem that you have everywhere you move to, if you move to a new location, you're going to experience the same kind of pattern, the same problem. So this is an invitation that if you do move to a new place, to change up those patterns, not give this new place the same old energy that you did every other place that you lived at, right? So it could be as simple as like, maybe you didn't always pay your rent on time in certain places. And like, you know, you move into a new place and Spirit's actually giving you the opportunity to like, do things the right way this time or something like that. Or maybe it's just even doing some sort of like status correction or contracts or something like that when it comes down to the fourth house. This could also be like something with a parent, specifically with a mother. So making sure that any patterns that you have with like your mother or something like that, you're really addressing this. You might have to be there more for your mother, or perhaps, there's like some sort of dispute or argument that you have with your mother. So just, what it is. And again, this could also happen like if you live with other people, that there could be some sort of like passive aggressive communication. This could also be because the moon is conjoining Mercury at this time, Cancer. This could be either visitations from a sibling, or perhaps you move in with a sibling or something like that. So that is something that's very possible here. Let me get what energies is happening here. Thank you. Yeah. Also having to reevaluate here. This is a lot of cards though. Cancer, your energy is coming out, but in reverse here. With the crone energy. Let's see here. I'm going to put these cards back because I kind of feel like that's too many cards. All right, so this energy for Cancer in the fourth house. Thank you. There we go. Perfect. All right, so also have the Four of Swords with the Six of Wands here. So this, I like that. With the Six of Wands here and the Four of Swords here, it's like if you allow yourself to calm down, like stay cool, calm, and collective during times of hostility or like changes, right, that's happening around you, this could bring you great victory and success in these changes, We have the Four of Pentacles in the bottom of the deck, which keeps coming up apparently. And so fours is very significant for a lot for the collectives because fours keep coming up. This could be an opportunity for you to balance out your chakras, to really get into a deep state of meditation here. This could be doing something that you love. What are you passionate about? Maybe some of you are moving in, right? With a loved one, with a partner, moving into a new place. You're wanting to start a family, right? That type of energy as well. Wholeness, wholeness. And so I like this card. This is allowing yourself to release the sacrifices that you were making. Like maybe you were self-sacrificial because you were afraid to confront certain issues. I had to, that was a mosquito. Ain't no blood-sucking energy trying to come through over here. Hell no. So with this energy, I would also say, Cancer, like if y'all are so used to having just everybody and their mother coming through into your home, this could also be that perhaps you put down like healthy boundaries about the people that or have access to come to your home, your living environment, right? This could be like, really evaluating what it is that you've been doing and when it comes down to matters of the home and how can you change it for the better. This could also be like perhaps tapping into feng shui and, to energetically move the energy around in your home in a particular type of way. So Cancer, that is your energy. We're going to move forward on to Leo. Leo, this energy is happening in your third house. So there's going to be a lot of communication that's occurring at this time, Leo. Just like everybody else, you're going to have to be mindful of anyone, either yourself or anyone around you, kind of like throwing passive aggressive shade towards your way. Especially y'all, because in the third house is communication. This could also be exes, like I mentioned, because of the South Node energy, the Libra energy, and Mars, the moon squaring Mars and Cancer in the third house. This could be arguments with a sibling, perhaps, or some sort of like past relationship or something that has to be healed, in regards to, like, you know, maybe you have a partner. Excuse me, my notifications is letting me know that it's on quiet time. So anyway, perhaps you have like a partner that maybe your siblings don't get along with, or maybe your sibling has an ex that you don't get along with, or something like that. And there's like some sort of like healing that needs to occur there, or some form of communication or something like that that needs to be done between. This is really about like balancing out the scales and bringing justice into its rightful position when it comes down to like you, siblings. If not your siblings, this could also be aunts, uncles, and even your neighbors. This could be really taking a look at the people. Like I started off the first part with the experience with like my neighbor, right? And like, you know, as much as I was always lending sugar to my neighbor, being supportive, being there, right? And I'm using sugar as an analogy, as a metaphor, but not necessarily like, you know, literally lending them sugar. It's figuratively, right? So like lending them sugar, you know, being a supportive neighbor, XYZ, and the lack of reciprocation, the lack of respect and whatnot is not really being delivered. And so, you know, you come to a space of either communicating that to your neighbor, or you say, you know what, I have to create a healthy boundary between myself and my neighbor, you know, to keep me in alignment with, you know, what is sacred, safe, and protected for me, and what is in honor of the highest and greatest good of all involved, while letting them, you know, letting them dig their own graves and go to where they need to go. But like, I can't be there for them no more. That could be something. It could just be a lot of contracts also that you're dealing with during this eclipse. There could also be local travel. So this could be perhaps, you know, driving around. I would also be careful, Leo, if you are driving around this time, you know, because eclipses do come with unexpected surprises. Hence what happened to me during the last eclipse. If you know, you know, right? And so really just being mindful of travels at this time. But this could also be like, you know, travels going safe and good and everything like that, right? So don't be afraid to travel if you need to travel. It's just, you know, maybe this could be unexpected delays or traffic, or maybe you don't get into an accident, but maybe there's accidents around you, right? So it might take you a little bit longer to get to a place. So I would say, you know, if you know you are traveling somewhere, maybe leave a little bit earlier than your average time, just because, you know, there may be some detours or delays or something like that. This could also be, you know, you allowing yourself to, like, maybe there was like a local coffee shop or a local place that you haven't necessarily been, but you've been wanting to go. It would be a good opportunity to allow yourself to bring that joy to yourself. This could be taking yourself out on a date, or taking your loved one out on a date, or even going somewhere with, like, you know, local with like a sibling or something like that. This could also be, you know, some sort of like changes, travels with a sibling as well. So Leo, and again, this is also contracts too. So you might be filling out certain contracts here. There could also be like a restoration or a reconciliation of some sort of relationship here. There could also be exes that try to come in the forefront, and you needing to establish, like, you know, the closure of that relationship, and whatnot. Because again, this energy is like closing out cycles, right? So let's see here, what energy for Leo, what other energies we have. Thank you. Leo, you have the 8 of Wands. 8 of Wands is Mercury and Sagittarius energy, but it's so on point, right? Because the 8 of Wands is also communication. It's about travel, and it's about everything, things happening fast. So Leo, the changes that are occurring during this new moon, it's gonna happen fast. This is forward movement here. This is could also be like that energy which was one like stuck and stagnant. Maybe there was like you know, you have a real genuine conversation with like a sibling or aunt or uncle or neighbor that was like really keeping you stagnant and hindering you from moving forward, and you set yourself free by actually having this conversation, setting the boundaries that you need to, and just keep it moving with yourself. Here in the bottom of the deck, we have Justice here, and that's what I'm talking about, right? With the number 8, the Libra scales bringing justice. So this could be this could also be that perhaps like a sibling of yours has like a court case or something like that, or something in that regard that you may be helping them navigate through or talk to them. But nonetheless, this is about balancing out the scales and being in honor of your connection in this space with these communication and justice being served in the right position, in the right space here. It's, you know, behind that is the 7 of Cups in reverse. It's not, you're no longer confused as to what it is that you want and how you want to move forward with. And you might have to communicate that with, you know, maybe exes try to come in, you got to communicate that to them. Maybe your siblings are trying to like ask more from you or say something or be passive aggressive, and you got to G-check them, or you got to, you know, communicate with them about what it is that you want in life, or what, you know, whatever the case may be, you know, your life. And again, I did mention contracts. So some of you may, I would say, because it's an eclipse, just make sure you're reading those contracts out, right? You know, dotting your I's, crossing your T's, you should be good. All right, Virgo, we're going to be moving forward onto you, Virgo. This is happening in the 2nd house for you. The 2nd house is money. It's your values, right? It's also food, right? It's so this could be very significant to you when it comes down to your food. You know, some of you Virgos, with it being an eclipse, conjoin Mercury with squaring Mars and Cancer. This could be, you know, maybe you get like a stomach ache or some sort of discomfort based on like emotions. Like if you are suppressing or repressing emotions, you might be emotionally eating more, or like not eating at all because of your emotions. So there's something here about like your health in regards to like your diet. You might be changing your foods. You might be fasting. You might be detoxing at this time. You might be really experiencing some sort of like changes in your values, you know, because there could be some sort of like challenge. Maybe you were like, you know, stuck in your ways in a particular situation, and you find yourself like, you know, like, I don't really resonate with that before. Like that was once something that I valued, or this, you know, something you connected with that was meaningful to you that perhaps isn't so meaningful to you anymore. And it's like really shifting you to, you know, you're feeling uncomfortable, you're trying to navigate through this, and you're like, you know, like, I'm just gonna honor this change here. This could also be like if you've been lying or having some like analysis paralysis type energy, that you really find yourself in a space of reevaluating that energy so that you can move forward here, Virgo. And again, if there's any like relationships that, you know, is really showing itself as like a past, you know, just a recycling pattern that's not serving your relationships, needing to like take initiative to rewrite the narrative, really shift that. This could also be like arguments in that space. This could, you know, with the 2nd house, this could be that perhaps there's some sort of, something with your finances that can shift. And the financial shift is not really dependent about other people, but dependent on yourself. Yes, dependent on yourself. So this could be like if you, like you're gonna have to work for it, you know, essentially, or like hard work paying off, right? If you've been putting in the work, then, you know, this could be like perhaps there was you know, things were moving a little bit slow. This could be, like I mentioned, I forgot for what sign I mentioned, but like if you had, for some of you that work for like other companies, right? This could be like maybe you put out an application out there and like you wasn't hearing back from from them, and all of a sudden like they reach out to you and you're like, oh my gosh, like I wasn't even expecting that, but like they want me to come in, right? Where this could also be an unexpected like raise, or this could be a demotion even too, right? It's really depending on how the scales need to get balanced for you. So really taking that into consideration. If you've been like putting in the work, right, that you could finally be receiving the recognition for the work that you've been putting out in your work environment, or like, because it's not sixth house, it's not so much about work environment, but it's about your money, like your money changes. So if you are like an entrepreneur, this could be like perhaps you find yourself filling out some sort of like paperwork for like a grant or something, or maybe you're changing your prices around because you're like, I'm really like, I've been guided to up the price on this type of service because I do so much, and I'm gonna be adding this to that service as well, and I'm worth it. Like I'm worth the amount of money that it is, for me to receive and have people that are reciprocal of that energy. And because it's the second house and it's the house of values, right? It is about how you receive and reciprocate energy, right? And so with the moon conjoined Mercury, you could be also like, sharing that out with your brand, and again, like the energetic exchanges. But because the moon is squaring Mars and Cancer, that there could be maybe a slight change or delay when it comes down to the financial shift. So it's not to say that the financial shift isn't going to happen. It may be a slight delay, but they want you to stay focused. Stay in the abundance mindset, right? Rather than being in the lack mentality or insecurity. If you're dealing with like some sort of like food poisoning, getting some, again, activated charcoal, clear out your stomach so that you don't feel nauseous. And if you are emotionally eating, like this is an opportunity for you to do some of the shadow work on that, right? Or if you're not eating due to emotions, this is a need for you to do some shadow work on that. How much do you value yourself? Do you deem yourself worthy? I feel like Virgos are going to get a lot of activations of finally feeling worthy again and balancing out that scale. So Virgo, let's see here what, that card flipped really quick. So y'all have the 9 of Wands here. I really do feel like, there may have been certain challenges, like we spoke about Mars and Cancer being passive aggressive energy and whatnot, right? And like with the moon squaring that, this is squaring your emotions on there. So they're saying like, don't give up, don't give up on yourself. Know that you are worthy. Know that you are able to reap the benefits of this, right? So let me get another card here. Thank you. Oh, so they gave me 2 more cards. No. Let me shuffle this here. Excuse me. Know that you are worthy. Continue to be, you might find yourself needing to preserve your energy as well here. So this could be maybe balancing out like your work and your play, maybe even like balancing out your schedule. Maybe you've been overextending yourself in one space and needing to balance that out, because, for example, right? Maybe you're not putting in as much work into it, but you have an abundant mindset, and there's not enough movement, right? And then there's like a lot of hardships that, not for those of y'all that is in flow state. Let me be very clear on this, right? Because of the money. if you are on a constant flow state with your finances, and you're in your relaxed state or in your feminine state and your receptive state, that's cool. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about for those of you who may be having a hard time financially due to not putting in the work, not putting in the effort. For those of you who have been putting in the work and putting in the effort and the money's coming, if you're feeling like you need rest, allow yourself the opportunity to balance that out. If some of y'all, been dealing with like like images, of how you value yourself, like you're not feeling like, maybe you just feel like you want to give up on yourself. Like this is about preserving your energy. You might have to tell people no. Say no where no needs to be said, right? And give yourself the opportunity to receive that which is honoring your highest and greatest good, Virgo. This could also be like balancing that out to like with other people that reciprocate your energy and go where you are valued. That's what I'm trying to say. Thank you. Go where you are valued. Go where you are valued. Don't give up on yourself per se if you're dealing with like any sign of anxiety or ideation or something like that. Yeah, with the Sun card here, this is an opportunity for you to and the Sun is going to have an eclipse here. We do have here the 5 of Cups in the bottom of the deck. So I do feel like maybe some of you Virgos may be dealing with like depression or anxiety or some sort of like grief that you're not necessarily talking about, and you're needing to do some shadow work on it, integrate it, and know that you are worthy of more. This could have been like, maybe because it's the second house, it's more independence. It's more about the energy that you are receiving is based on the work that you put in. Whereas like in the 8th house, it's more like other people's money and stuff like that. Like you don't necessarily have to work for it and it's available to you. It's just like a form of magnetism. With the second house, there's still a form of magnetism, but it's not due to other people's resources. It's about you being resourceful. You might be the resource that other people need. You might be the pillar of light that helps other people get out of like depression or go through shadow work and stuff like that. And there might even be like a workshop or something that you're going to help navigate other people through. And Spirit is saying like, go ahead, you're worthy of receiving the lavish abundance of the universe or the funds in regards to this project or this workshop, or don't give up on it. Even if there's certain obstacles or delays or something like that, do not give up on it. It's gonna be successful. So Virgo, I really like this energy for you. It's really successful. You're in a space of really it's a little bit hard, but it's okay. You will come out. You will come out of this in a more successful, brighter energy. I'm going to take a sip and then I'm going to move on to Libra. Hello, John Michael. Libra, this energy is happening in your first house. And so this energy is about your identity. This is about your body. Okay, so this is a major activation for you because it's a new moon and a solar eclipse happening in your sign. Mercury is also in the sign of Libra, which I just told y'all like the moon is conjunct Mercury, but I didn't tell y'all what sign Mercury's in. Mercury's in Libra. So we have a Libra stellium here. You're welcome. We have a Libra stellium here, and I recommend, because this is happening in the sign of Libra, usually I do the like whatever sign it is, I usually do that sign first so that everyone in the collective can hear it. But here we are. This is how I did it today, and it is what it is. But I highly recommend that everybody listen to Libra because this is Libra's activation, right? And so with it, because, you know, I would say look at where Libra falls into in your chart, right? If you want to like more personalized, look at where Libra is in your chart. And this is really going to show like where there's going to be changes in your identity. This could be, you know, maybe you're feeling more attractive, maybe you're feeling less attractive, but I really feel like this is about getting cute, feeling more attractive, because again, Libra is ruled by Venus energy, and Venus likes to attract here. So there could be a lot of lavish abundance that's coming in, Libra, during this time, that perhaps the rest of the collective may not necessarily know how to tap into that abundance. And you're going to have to really allow yourself to not take things personal when people are lashing out, Libra, right? This is also an opportunity for y'all to not people please and balance out the scales and honoring yourself, right? This might feel a little bit more isolating or more emotional for you and more internalized, because the moon is going to be conjunct Mercury in Libra. So this could also be like being that it's a solar eclipse and there's the shadow energy. It's like, how are you communicating with yourself? What is the dialogue that you are internally speaking into your body, and being mindful of that, right? So are you telling yourself, I'm stupid, I'm ugly, I'm this, I'm that? Even if you're just joking, your body doesn't know that you're joking. The mind doesn't know that you're joking. So you're really going to want to be extra mindful because the moon is also squaring Mars in Cancer. These are like, it could be anxiety. It could be like that type of energy that is just perhaps, not really being so kind to yourself, right? So the invitation for y'all is to speak kindly, like speak life into yourself, speak beauty into your life, recognize the beauty within yourself, recognize yourself worthy enough to say, that's not serving me anymore. It's okay for me to say no, right? And not people please. That's one of the biggest challenges that you're gonna have, is not people pleasing at this time. But for the most part, Libra, I really do see a lot of offerings, a lot of things shifting for the better for you when it comes down to this energy. I really like this is a big, even though the first house is the house of self, right? I really do feel like this is going to be bringing you healthy, meaningful connections that's equally yoked to you. This really feels like you're gonna come into a space of like connecting with soul tribe or connecting with loved ones. If you're single, don't be surprised if you find yourself, getting into a relationship shortly after this, right? It may not be right away, it may not be the same day of, but it could be like meeting somebody. This could also be like, allow me to reintroduce myself type energy, because it is about the self. There could be some also like shadow work due to the ego that is necessary with this energy, and that's to be expected, and that's for all signs really. And so it's okay if y'all find yourselves needing to do that or needing more alone time. Y'all could be feeling really charged up by this energy and really overwhelmed, so you might want to actually like isolate and be to yourself. And that's okay. That is your invitation. Your invitation is to be a little bit more selfish. Your invitation is to focus the energy back on self, Libra. As much as y'all want to be lovers to other people and everything like that, the invitation is to focus on self as well. And we're doing like Libra rising, sun and moon, and I would even say Mercury, if your Mercury is in Libra here, there's going to be a lot of like communicating that to the people around you. So even if you find yourself not isolating, you find yourself around other people, this could be like, people celebrating you. right? This could be, you know, an energy of like really making it about self in a way that, you know, maybe you change your look, maybe you're changing your wardrobe, maybe you change, and you know, that can kind of even go with like Virgos changing their like look and wardrobe based on their values. But with you, Libra, you know, based on body images, maybe if you have like insecurities about your body, like finding yourself to get into a space of gaining confidence, balancing out the scales in that way. That is your invitation. Let's see here what the cards have to say. I really like this energy because usually the first house does feel really isolating, and because we have the moon squaring Mars in Cancer, you know, the moon is connected to mother energy as well. So there could be some sort of dispute, disconnection, or something in regards to like a mother energy that perhaps needs reconciliation or healing. But it's also like, it's not about people pleasing with the mother. This could even be like, maybe there's a Libra that needs to G-check their mother because their mother is like overstepping a boundary that like the Libra energy is like constantly just too nice or been extremely passive, right? But Libras are also known to be passive aggressive in their ways. So like Libra, like, you know, yes, it's okay to say no. Yes, it's okay to put a boundary, you know, but you might come off a little passive aggressive during this, or like, you know, a mother energy might do that. But nonetheless, whether it's a mother, whether it's a partner, whatever it is, anyone outside of you, you're going to have to bring it back to self. How do I feel about this? How does this serve me? And it may seem really selfish, but if you've been overly giving to other people, it's time to put yourself first. It's time to put yourself first. It's okay to celebrate yourself. And it's okay to say, this is how I want this to look in my life now. And it may make other people uncomfortable, but it's welcomed for you. This is actually going to lead you to more success. This is going to lead you to really like get into that space of like more authenticity and balance, right, with your relationships, so that you're not, I don't want to say self-sabotaging per se, but just like belittling yourself, you know, like you're allowed to take space, like take up space, you know. So I really like that energy. Let's see here what messages we have for Libra. And I was going to definitely pull from other cards, but we have the Devil card here. So there could be some ego play here, with the Eight of Swords here. So there could be some fear. There could be some ego here. And let's talk about this for a moment, right? If you're feeling trapped, if you're feeling like you cannot, communicate with like a loved one or something like that, then there's some sort of trauma bond or some sort of toxicity that's surrounding there, that's giving a false narrative so the thing is, the devil may bring a form of temptation, but it doesn't necessarily make you do anything you don't want to do, right? Like, for example, in the Rider-Waite deck, you see the devil, the two people, right? Like the lovers, you see them with chains, but the chains are kind of broken. They're not even like attached to the situation, but they're choosing to keep in that like toxic environment. So this energy could also just be like, you know, a need for you to, this is also the 10 of Pentacles here. This could be a family situation that perhaps left you in a space of fear. Maybe there was some trauma bonds happening, that you're breaking from. Maybe, you know, breaking generational curses is kind of how I see this here, right? With the Devil card and the 10 of Pentacles in the bottom of the deck, and then the 8 of Swords is like, feel the fear and do it anyways. Break the generational curse. If people aren't speaking to you in a way that you deserve, then it's time for you to allow yourself rewrite that narrative and on a cellular level and say, like, I'm no longer gonna allow this energy. And I kind of feel like I'm repeating myself with that. I am going to save the live on YouTube, so you can make sure that you're following me on YouTube, and then I will put the timestamps there and you'll be able to go back to Gemini. I'm doing, all signs. So I say, listen to your sun, moon, and rising, not just your sun sign. You want to listen to all of them. We have them in different parts. Libra. On another note, this could also be on a shadow side. If you do not allow yourself to balance the scales, what could happen is like perhaps an injury to your body. All right. And so, yes, is in my bio, love. Thank you. So really taking tending to your body. What is your intuition telling you? What is your body telling you? Trusting in the process of your body. Maybe that means that your body's asking you for a little bit more time in the morning before getting up and rushing to work or getting up and rushing to an experience, right? So taking your time with your body. This could also be perhaps, you connect with some sort of like healer and you get some like Reiki or energy work or something like that for your body. Or this could even be like allowing yourself to get a massage, Libra. Like maybe you need a massage. Maybe you've been in pain. Maybe there was something that happened to your body's going through changes, right? I have a Libra rising, and I know for me, I damn sure could use a massage because, I was recently in an accident. So my body is going through changes. So making sure that I'm doing what I need to do to like calm my nervous system, pay attention to what my body's saying. Like if I'm leaning too much or something like that, maybe I just need to like fix my posture and stuff like that. Honoring the space where your body is at. And it doesn't matter what the fuck anybody else feels about it outside, So just kind of take that into consideration as well. It could also be Libra. Happy birthday, by the way, Libra. This is your season. So like it could be a spa day. Maybe you go out for yourself. You do something for yourself. Maybe we spoke about celebrating you, right? Like this is about Libra celebrating self at this time. And the rest of the collective wants to celebrate too, but they might have some discomforts in the area. And Libra, you, as much as y'all want to people please the rest of the collective, you're going to have to be like, as much as I want to be there, that looks like a consequence of your own action, of karma, and I'm not in the space of trauma bonding right now, so I'm going to allow you to go through the process that you need to go through so that you can balance the scales of your life. And when you're done with that, you can come over here and celebrate with me, but I'm gonna go this way. And that's okay. And that's okay. Did I pull out a card? Yeah, I did pull out a card. All right, so we're going to move forward to Scorpio. Scorpio, this is happening in the 12th house. This is the house of hospitals. This is the house of endings. This is the house of, connecting with the subconscious mind. So Scorpio, y'all could be getting a lot of dreams at the time, but this is really about endings at this time, Scorpio. You may have, this is closing out cycles, getting the closure that you need for yourself, getting the closure that you need to put on any situation that is not serving you at this time, that's creating any imbalances. This is a reflection of your relationships around you and what relationship needs to come to an end here, whether it's with a lover or with friends or with family. This is really allowing you to take the time and really put a closing, an end to the karma, an end to the toxicity, right? Here, this could also be like because the 12th house is like hospitals and stuff like that as well, I would definitely say like being mindful if, you know, a situation could occur that perhaps leads you to the hospital, or maybe even if it's not for you, this could be that maybe you take somebody to the hospital, right? Because it's ending, if you know somebody in the hospital or something in the hospital, this is not for everyone because this is not the 8th house. However, y'all are Scorpio, it's the 12th house. It's possible that, you know, there could be a transition that occurs because of the 12th house. This could also just be that, minding your psyche at this time, because this is connected with a solar eclipse and you are in the 12th house. For some of you, the shadow side, the shadow that could be casted could be with the moon squaring Mars and Cancer. This could be some sort of psychosis. This could be some sort of like feeling vengeful, vindictive even. So really just minding that, because Scorpio, y'all are traditionally ruled by Mars, and Mars is in Cancer where it's in its detriment. So, you're gonna really want to be careful of your emotional responses when it comes down to this. Really not try so hard not to like beat yourself up, because again, the 12th house is like self-sabotage also and getting in your own way. Excuse me. So, really be kind to yourself. If you know that you've been dealing with some sort of like psychological imbalances or hormonal imbalances at this time, really getting that checked out, balancing that out, maybe finding yourself to like listen to some more frequencies. I would say like listen to, is it 741 hertz? I would say 417 hertz, 147 hertz, 741 hertz, to really start balancing out, healing some of your emotional body. This could also be like amplifications dreams. Things may not appear as they seem to be because of the shadow that is casted. However, you're gonna have to really pay attention to your intuition here and let it guide you, because a lot of the stuff that's coming to present itself to you, Scorpio, is for endings. Hertz, I have tuning forks, all those you mentioned. Awesome. Yes. So definitely, tap into your tuning forks with those hertz and allow yourself to rewrite those contracts, put an ending where the endings need to be. Y'all, the whole collective has to focus on endings, but Scorpio, y'all more than everyone else in the collective have major endings to put into place. Y'all could have been trauma bonding. Y'all could have been dealing with karmic exes. Or there's some sort of like, maybe exes come to communicate with you. You have to like, this could have been like abusive relationships, right? For some of you Scorpios, this is again on the shadow side, because the moon is squaring Mars and Cancer. Mars and Cancer can also be like very dangerous, not just passive aggressive, but like murderous, if you will, right? So like if there is an abusive relationship that needs to come to an end, and it's physically abusive, mentally abusive, like this could lead to suicidal ideations. This could lead to some sort of psychosis or mental breakdown. This could lead to actual death and transformation and harm. Even though it's not the 8th house, it's the 12th house, it's still, things can escalate. This abuse can escalate. There's also, perhaps if there isn't if you're in an abusive relationship and y'all don't get into an actual like fight or altercation, this could be that they're passive aggressive or trying to make themselves like the good guy syndrome, like I mentioned earlier, being sneaky, being vindictive, being a trickster energy, like shape-shifting themselves to appear differently because you may be ready to close out this cycle and put an end to this, but they may be manipulative. So there's a strong sense of manipulation here that has to come to an end for you, for those all involved here that is operating from a toxic space here, because it can lead to like mental health issues in the long term, in the long run here. So that's just something that I have to put out there as a warning, because that's a possibility that can happen, Scorpio. Not to say that that's going to happen to every Scorpio or that y'all are doomed. Y'all are not doomed, right? This is also like, maybe y'all going to be feeling a little bit because, again, the solar eclipse is an obstruction of the sun and y'all are in the 12th house of the psyche. Like, you're going to have to rely on your spiritual gifts and your spiritual sight more than what meets the eye. Because your mind could be playing tricks on you at this time, or things may not appear as they seem physically. So you're going to have to really be in tune if you are. But if you're not, if you have any imbalances, if your chakras are imbalanced or your hormones are imbalanced, this could also disrupt your spiritual health as well. So the invitation is to really, put it into anything that's creating this imbalance, for your spiritual growth and, your physical health here. You could also be working, if you're working in the hospital, if you're a Scorpio that works in the hospital or a nurse or something like that, y'all could have a very crazy active day during, usually is during full moons, but also during eclipses is when the hospitals are very busy the most. Because a lot of accidents, a lot of things get triggered and activated during eclipses and full moons at that time. So you can be really busy, and you want to be mindful of how things are at work. Okay, if you work in a hospital, especially the emergency room. So that's just something to keep in mind if you do work there. If you are just a healer, also maybe you don't work in the hospital, but you're a spiritual healer. This could also be that like you're gonna help people if you are balanced, if you are a healed, balanced healer, right? This could be that like you will be helping people process cord cutting. You'll be helping people, get some like energy work or something like that. Like you're going to have more people coming to you at this time, for that. So really being mindful. When it comes down to your relationships, you're going to have to use your discernment and know what relationships you have to close out and which ones to move forward to. All right, y'all. Did I pull any cards for y'all? I don't think I did pull out any cards. So let me get for Scorpio here. That's a lot of cards. Hi, Sandra. And then I'll be moving on to Sagittarius. Wow, so these cards, a lot of the same cards keep coming out. I'm just going to shuffle it one time just to make sure. But y'all had the 7 of swords here. So there could also be, maybe just being mindful of energetic exchanges. There could be like energy vampires around. Maybe you're an energy vampire. This could also be like, somebody robbing, being a thief of the night, if you will. You could be robbing yourself of experiences. This could be a need to really reevaluate your psyche, like I mentioned before. Let me get here for Scorpio. Thank you all for your patience. One more time. And I'm just trying to get all these readings out on time here, because I be very long-winded sometimes. So for Scorpio, thank you. Scorpio, you have the 5 of Pentacles here. So you're really going to have to utilize your resources. The elementals could be working in your favor. You also have the 8 of Wands here. So there could be a lot of spiritual communication happening between you and the elementals and whatnot. And the bottom of the deck is the 10 of Swords here. So this could also be self-sabotage. This could be neglect. This could also be betrayal. So really, and the 5 of Pentacles is also about walking away from that which is no longer serving you. So there could have been some sort of like secrets, betrayals. The 12th house is also the house of hidden enemies. So there could be, you know, with the 8 of Wands here, you know, you might be needing to walk away from certain people who are like gossiping about you, lying about you, or even creating some sort of like betrayal. There could be like a hidden enemy that you're not aware of, and this is somebody that you actually like trusted. This is somebody that you were like really close with, and either that gets revealed to you during this eclipse, or you're going to have to allow yourself to do some inner healing work to allow the revelation of truth to come to the forefront of your psyche to reveal this hidden enemy. Okay. This could also be that perhaps you think that everybody's your fucking enemy, and that's making you self-sabotage, and you might be doing things that's like betraying yourself or betraying others as well. So you know your story more or less, but there is some sort of like communication. There is some sort of like, you know, movement, energy movement that needs to be happen, or vocal movement here. I really feel like this is an opportunity for you to connect with your guides, you know, and even do words of power and affirmations for your protection, you know, keeping yourself sacred, safe, and protected. And that source, you know, because it's casting a shadow, you may not realize that there's a hidden enemy close to you. I almost forgot that the 12th house was hidden enemies. You know, I like to say that the war has already been won, right? And so if you find yourself with around people who find you like competition, or yeah, like if there's any form of like competition, or I look at things like that, like if there's any form of like jealousy and stuff like that, I look at that like a betrayal to self, to your soul, right? Like the whole purpose of living your life is to be in your true authenticity, right? So this could be also like, you know, imposter syndrome that needs to come to an end, because it's, you know, betrayal of self, if you will. But nonetheless, the 12th house is the house of hidden enemies out external from you. Yeah, your ego could be a hidden enemy, but your ego could also be a big protector of you to put those healthy boundaries down. So, see with your spiritual eyes what your physical eyes can't see. Allow yourself to command that the truth be revealed to you, and that you're able to see any hidden enemies that they are revealed onto you, and that any shadows that have been casted from that individual, that they get cleared now. And command that, and affirm that your subconscious mind is working all things out in your favor for you at all times. This could also be dreams. So maybe it's difficult for you to sleep. Maybe you have a hard time sleeping. Maybe you have some form of insomnia or some really bad anxiety at this time. You know, I would recommend a spiritual cleansing, a spiritual bath at this time. These are the type of things that's going to be really beneficial to you. Imagine running 7 miles and not allowing your pores to sweat. Oh my gosh. That's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah. Yeah. That was a good one too. You know, yeah, riddles, hidden messages, you know, 12 houses, hidden messages, which is why it's like pay attention to your dreams and what's the symbolic message behind it. Yeah, so we're going to move forward onto Sagittarius. Sagittarius, this energy is happening in your 11th house. This is the house of your angelic forces, your higher forces, benevolent forces, your authenticity and collective energy. This is also like soul family. This is the house of your friends. This is the house of you know, environmental, you know, for your environment. So oh my gosh, if I could speak, you know, you might be doing things around like, you know, environmentalism, or what's it called? Why I can't think of the word right now. It's I'm getting a brain fart. But yeah, y'all have the moon conjunct Mercury in the sign of Libra. So, you know, there might be some difficulties a little bit when it comes down to, you know, communicating with your friends. Maybe there's some slight misunderstandings or something like that. Because of Mars, the moon squaring Mars in Cancer. And I spoke about like that. You're going to have to be tapped into the crone energy here. This is, what is the 9? Virgo, the hermit energy. All right. So, you know, there might be some really, you know, your external is a deep reflection of your internal here. So, you're going to find yourself really, coming to a space where in the bottom of the deck, you have the 9 of Swords here. Y'all might be really, really sensitive. I feel like y'all going to be getting a lot of downloads in regards to this solar eclipse, but y'all going to be experiencing a lot of anxiety perhaps. And this is because y'all might be feeling everybody's energy, especially if you're empathic or something like that. I would say like, you know, connecting with like maybe some like black tourmaline or obsidian or something like that to kind of create a sacred shield, or even like some smoky quartz or something like that. Or selenite, or all of the above, to just kind of like create a sacred shield with yourself and energy, or just like mentally creating a sacred shield with yourself in your aura, doing an auric cleanse. I really do see that like spending time with friends though, like because of the anxiety, you might want to get like hermit mode. But the invitation is for you to connect with the collective. The invitation is for you to share your crone-like wisdom and guidance onto the collective. You know, you have a lot to share with the community, and you're gonna, you know, being able to provide that as a resource, being able to provide that type of wisdom, that type of magic to your friends. You know, there is a need to also balance out, like, you know, are you the only friend that checks up on everybody else? Or do your friends check up on you too? This is something for you to observe at this time as well. Are you in friendships that are equally yoked, that are beneficial to all involved, right? And Sagittarius, you know, I really feel like this is an opportunity to really like gain more laughter. You know, because the 11th house is connected to the house of angels and stuff like that, you know, you could also connect with you know, the angels of benevolence and truth and righteous and perfect love and perfect trust to help you alleviate this anxiety or stress, or intrusive thoughts. If you're dealing with intrusive thoughts, this could just be that you're overstimulated with a lot of mentalism. You could be very telepathic or very empathic and really sensitive to the collective's energy at this time. So just connecting with your like spiritual team to help soothe you with that energy, but also allow yourself to engage with like friends at this time and like build and like do a laughter meditation or watch some comedy or like go out with friends during this time. And like, you know, if you're, especially if you find yourself having any form of like suicidal ideations or any tough energy, is not to like pour onto them or spill onto them, but it's to allow yourself to reconnect with your friends after a strong time of isolation is kind of what I'm getting here. And with the crone energy, this is saying like you do have a lot of, you know, this may feel a little bit like darker energy, but it doesn't have to be so bad. This is the opportunity also to ask your friends for help, or even the opportunity. Hi, Mr. Synchronicity. I already did Cancer. You're going to have to check that out. But listen for your sun, moon, and rising. So Sagittarius, like, you know, when it comes down to the Hermit energy, right, and the crone, like getting into that space of deep wisdom. I'm sorry, I just want to make sure that that's the right energy, because I feel like I'm saying it wrong, but it might be. Yeah, because the eight is the strength, and then it's the Hermit. Yeah. So this is also allowing you to be tapped into the inner guru, right? The inner teacher within yourself. This is the opportunity for you to clean your mirrors, right? This deck been calling me the whole entire time, so that's why I'm wanting to grab it. But I like this energy with y'all, you know. Your friends are a reflection of your self-worth, or a reflection of like what you believe in and stuff like that. And really allow yourself to honor that, like celebrate with your friends, whatever. And like there's a difference between friends and acquaintances. So that this might be something that like maybe because if you haven't integrated your shadows, you might be like calling everybody your friend. And hydration, right? I know I'm really thirsty when I'm drinking tea, which doesn't always help. Thank you. It's from all the channeling. I need water, and I didn't bring my water, and I'm drinking tea. I appreciate the hydration check. All right, hold on. You see here how I just took a breath and I paused. Sagittarius, if you find yourself in a dispute or an argument with a friend that is like a healthy, meaningful connection to you, just pause and take a breath if that is what's necessary, right? Rather than being rageful and destructive. This might also be that either a friend needs to tell you a truth, or you need to tell a friend a truth, or something like that, and it may be uncomfortable, but this is to balance out you know, the imbalances, right? Excuse me, I'm releasing. Oh, excuse me. If y'all having a hard time sleeping, I don't know why I'm getting a lot of sleeping, like hard time sleeping, like y'all might be dealing with insomnia. I would say going out in nature, doing something, like connecting with nature, doing something that helps with like the ecosystem and whatnot is gonna help. Maybe you work for the city. This is a possibility that some of you like work for the city, and is gonna be doing like some sort of like paperwork with that. This could be that some of you Sagittarius put together, you know, you've been getting the wisdom or the intuition or something like that to put some sort of like program out that's gonna like help the environment or help the collective, you know. So this could be whether it's, you know, putting a program out there that's gonna help homeless people or something like that, or help you know, clean the waters, or you know, things along those lines, that it's going to create a major impact for the collective here. So that's also something that y'all could tap into this energy. Maybe you're feeling like during this eclipse, maybe you're like not really sure how to navigate it, or that's when you get the activation. But I mean, again, this is why it's important for y'all to, you know, yes, pay attention 6 weeks before, 6 weeks after, but the eclipse energy completely closes out within 6 months. And this is a closing eclipse, right? So you want to pay attention to what you was connecting with 6 months ago when it comes down to your friends and your collective. Like, how did that look the last 6 months? And what do you need to, like, who do you need to get rid of? Who do you need to stay with? And whatnot. So we're gonna move forward to Capricorn. Capricorn, this energy is happening in your 10th house. This is your 10th house of reputation, of career. And so Capricorn, you know, there could be, like I mentioned earlier, like, you know, traveling to work. There might be some delays if you're working for somebody else, but this could be this could be a raise, getting a raise from work. This could be some sort of like major contract. If you're dealing with contracts, if you're, you know, if you work with contracts, this could be some sort of like, you know, being mindful. This could be a promotion. This could be a demotion. This could be a contract that's for the better. This could be like a last minute shift in contracts and paperwork, needing to put these things together, and establishment. This could be that, you know, like that your hard work paying off and people finally recognizing you for all the work that you've been putting in. There could also be some gossip around your reputation or the work that you put in. Nonetheless, there's going to be opportunities here. So Capricorn, Sun, Moon, Rising, you know, with the Sun of this, which is the Sun of Pentacles here, this could be a promotion. This could be tangible rewards. But if there is any form of gossip or lies, or maybe even if you're dealing with contracts, because, you know, Libra is about balancing the scales and stuff like that, and it's also contracts. If you're dealing with contracts as far as like with your career, and there's any difficulties around that, be patient, because you also have the Four of Swords. So you're going to have to be the one in a higher mind. Tap into your higher mind here. We also have the World card in the bottom of the deck, which is your energy, and the Emperor with the Four of Wands. So this is telling me that like what it is, your reputation is very transformative at this time, and it's really going to create like this really big imprint in your world, right? Which essentially creates an ascension to the rest of the world around you, right? So being in a meditative state, being consciously aware of like, okay, you know what? The passive aggressive shit isn't going to work. You know, if somebody comes out stupid, like, let me be mindful of my words so that I'm mindful of my position here, because my reputation is you know, this is going to be around money. You know, this could be offerings with money, an exchange of money, and you're going to really have to contemplate, do I want to settle for this or not? This could be a settlement also. This could be a promotion. This could be a payout. So like because of the World card here, right? With the World card, I see a lot of abundance coming through. I see a lot of you know, all your hard work paying off. It's really, let me block this person. I'm sorry, this weird ass energy. What's the name on here? Because y'all, listen. I ain't got time for y'all today. I'm just gonna block you. I'm gonna keep it moving. Because that's how, that might be what y'all gotta do, Capricorns. Like, Cappies, if somebody's lying on your reputation, if somebody's gossiping on you, or somebody's provoking you into a space that's like, better, because with the moon conjoined Mercury, this is a lot about communication, right? And with it being a solar eclipse, this is an opportunity for you to voice your truth and your opinion to balance out these contracts and put a closing to the bullshit. But at the same time, like if it's in the workplace, because the 10th house is the house of work environment as well, right? Like the 6th house is work, but the 10th house is career. If somebody is talking about your reputation and this is to jeopardize your career, you want to stay cool, calm, and collected and centered, and operate with your ego as the observer and your higher mind taking control of the situation, so that way you get the offers that you need to. I do see a promotion or money coming in. This could be because of your reputation. Maybe people lend you money because they trust you, or people, like you put in an investment, right? Maybe you see an opportunity to invest in your own business, right? Or, and I said lending money, but this could be maybe getting a loan for a business if your career is like an entrepreneur, or it doesn't have to be a loan. It could even be a grant, even, something that, with the World card, this World card got me tripping out a little bit more. This could also just be that, like, you're gonna be recognized on a bigger scale than you normally would have. So like, for example, in your career, maybe, just the people local to you knew about your business, or knew about your position, or knew about your career. But then you get offered to speak on like a bigger scale that is like communicating internationally or something like that, right? Or you get a contract that is an international contract or something like that. I see this like being beneficial to you, but this is also, there's some unexpected situation or occurrence that's going to happen there. So they want you to trust the process. They want you to know that this is going to work out in your favor here. If there has been like other forms of like abuse or whatever that's going on there, you're going to come out more the victorious end. And so it's very interesting because I didn't mention this in the beginning of the video, but like Capricorns, Cancers, Scorpio, and not Scorpio, and Taurus, yes, are gonna be impacted with this. But so Libra and Aries, these are the ones that's gonna get like major activations at this time with this solar eclipse here. So again, your rising sign is gonna be more prominent to you. Your sun sign is gonna be second, and then your moon sign is gonna be more internal. So Cappy, I really suggest that, like, because you got the World card, I would say like listen for your sun, moon, and rising organizing and see how you could put it all together in a way that's going to allow for you to maximize this opportunity of the lavish abundance of the universe to flow to you. You're really in a space where a lot of people are recognizing your ability at this time. A lot of people are watching you at this time, and it's getting to the point where like it's international. Even though this is not the house of like traveling internationally or anything like that, there's some sort of cooperation or foundation, but there's also a destruction that's happening. Like it's a breaking down of corporations as we've known it in the past, because this is the South Node, right? There, you know, and the 10th house is the house of corporate also, right? And so anything that has to do with corporate right now, if it's following the same South Node pattern, I would say really take a mindful look at how you can pivot the energy to shift in a way that is going to move forward with the North Node of the collective. Because this South Node energy could bring you some sort of tangibility, it could also later on put you in the space where you're gonna, you know, it's just South Node, it's past, it's keeping you in the past. So you want to make sure that you're doing what is necessary for you to invest in moving forward with the collective as well. This is why the World card is coming in. It's like looking at the ways of the world and how the world is pivoting, how the world is changing. It's about tapping into the new earth activations at this time and trusting in the money flow to invest in yourself in that direction of your North Node. So I would even say, Capricorns, like look at where your North Node and South Node is, and does that align with your career? For some of you Capricorns, if you haven't been in alignment with your North Node, then this could be getting fired from your job unexpectedly. Like, what the fuck? I wasn't even expecting this. And Spirit is pushing you in the direction for you to actually get a job or a career, or offering in the position of like your North Node, connecting with where it is that you're supposed to be going in the collective, right? And so putting that into consideration. So investing in yourself in that way. Did I pull cards? I did pull cards for you. So Cappy, that is your message. I'm going to be moving forward to Aquarius. So Aquarius, this energy is happening in your 9th house. The 9th house is the house of philosophy. It's of higher thinking. It's travel internationally, right? So Aquarius, you might be studying something internationally. You might be traveling out of the country. This could even be perhaps even moving out of the country for some of you Aquarius, right? So really taking a look at like what is happening on an international level for you all. If it's not international, this could just be like, you know, maybe you're going to be having a lot of discussions when it comes down to like your beliefs and your philosophy, and you're going to have like faith within yourself, especially because Mars, the moon squaring Mars in Cancer, this could be like something provoking you into a space of like doubt, right? And so when in doubt, go without, right? Really listen to your intuition. Really listen to tapping into your faith. You're gonna have to take a leap of faith to move forward and doing something really out of your comfort zone. And Aquarius, y'all are known for changes anyways. Y'all are known for being the weirdos. Y'all are known for allowing yourselves to think outside the box and being able to pivot into like learning different cultures, right? So for some of you Aquarius, this could be as simple as like learning another language. This could be, and you know, for example, right, like my Venus and my North Node is in Aquarius, and so I like learning about different languages, but I also like sometimes my pronunciation or words. So like I like singing. It's easier for me to like sing in another language, right? Think about like the movie like Selena, right? Like she was Mexican American, but like her first language was English and her secondary language was Spanish, even though her parents were pure Mexican and they knew Spanish. So it was easier for her to sing in Spanish than it was for her to talk in Spanish. And that's actually how she allowed herself to learn Spanish, was through singing. But her siblings were able to speak Spanish with no problem, right? And so that's what I mean about like pivoting and making it work for you, right? When it comes down to like learning something that may be of a different language or something, right? So like I like chanting or like singing in other languages. This might be a thing for you, Aquarius. If you find yourself in another like country, this could also be like listening to other music, or learning the philosophies of different cultures around you, or even eating like different foods that are different of like another culture than that you know of. And let's see here what cards we get here for you, Aquarius. This could also be like being mindful of like, you know, y'all may be sharing a lot of information about like, you know, maybe like the wars or things that's going on a international level here. So it's like sharing that type of energy, information. This could also be like looking at solutions. How do you utilize international resources for, you know, solutions to your environment here? Y'all have the Three of Wands. Yeah, so this could also be like if you have a career where, or like you ordered certain products or something that's international, there may be some issues with international shipping to be mindful, maybe some delays, but Spirit is saying like your ships are going to sail in. You're going to have to really tap into your spiritual energy to move this forward with this star here. There's some sort of healing. The delay is not for everybody. What I'm hearing is like a lot of you had some desires in moving forward and getting some stuff, and it could be like your ships are now coming to sail in. There could have been some expectations, but they're saying like this is gonna be harmonious with the Two of Cups here. You have the Two of Cups here. So I really feel like you come to a space of like humbling yourself based on certain experiences. Like if you know, like you prepared yourself to say, okay, I know that, you know, sometimes if this is being shipped internationally, I know that like it might be some delays or it might come later. So maybe you like ordered something like months in advance or something like that so that it can come on time. But nonetheless, your ships are sailing in, and this is really beneficial to you, but there might be certain challenges from other people. Like if you are an entrepreneur and some of your products are being shipped from other countries, and maybe you're patient about it, but maybe there's a client that wasn't necessarily so patient. Or there could be a dissatisfaction. Maybe your ships sail in, you get your resources, you get that, you know, your products or whatever it is that you order or came in, whatever the fuck it is that's shipping from international coming through. And there's like a little dissatisfaction because it wasn't necessarily what you expected it to be, right? So that's something that could occur to trigger your shadows to come up to the forefront. So being mindful of like any anger or frustrations or something like that if you're dealing with any type of international shipping. This could also be that if you are traveling internationally at this time, like make sure that you're going like hours, like more than 2-3 hours at the airport, just in case there's any delays, any sort of just issues, you're able to catch your flight and stuff like that on time. There could also be a delay on international flights and stuff like that as well. So Aquarius, really taking heed to that if you find yourself traveling at this time. So, moving forward, last but not least, we have Pisces. Pisces. This energy is happening in your 8th house. So this energy here could be like past life fears, childhood fears, relationship fears, things going on with like fears, bondage, trauma bonds, karmic relationships, any form of toxic relationships coming up to the forefront to be addressed at this time for you to balance out your scales. There could have been also like psychological, anxiety, depression. You know what I'm hearing is like, don't let people or situations bring you back to a place that you came out of, right? So if you was like struggling with any form of like depression or anxiety or like trauma bonds or old relationships that perhaps would like, leading you to like mental, like mentally breaking down, or they were narcissistic or abusive or manipulative, that type of energy could kind of resurface for you at this time. So there's a strong need for you to like really do some breath work, connect with your intuition, because the 8th house is also the house of occultism. Tapping into your spirituality is going to be important, because occult is ocular vision. And there's an obstruction or of a shadow, overcasting your ocular sight. So you're going to have to tap in with your inner sight. And, y'all are Pisces, y'all are intuitive. And so there could be certain challenges. Maybe, this could also be like people challenging your intuition, trying to create a doubt, people gossiping about like your spirituality or what you stand for and stuff like that, to try to create some insecurities in you or some fears. And so there's a strong need for like shadow work here and shadow integration at this time. And, just making sure that you're spending extra time, pouring into your mental health with this energy, Pisces. I would say, like, get a playlist that is like with your favorite songs that's going to bring you soothing, or maybe even just like this, I think, and I don't remember with what sign I mentioned, the hertz frequencies, but like, listening to some sound frequencies, it could be 528, 417, 741, 963, because I'm really getting like, don't get stuck in your head. Don't let your ego, like, don't get in your own way. Sometimes we let our fears put us to get in our own way. And there's a strong, this could also be feeling really sensual, feeling really sexual. For some of you Pisces, this could also be because it's an eclipse energy and it's at the 8th house. I would say mindfulness, if you're not like, this could be having to heal, certain like diseases, especially sexually transmitted ones. This could be sexually transmitted demons, fuck it, like even like soul tie, from trauma bonds or soul bonds, so I would recommend, doing a spiritual cleanse or a yoni steam, some sort of phallus steam if you are a Pisces male or something like that. Just really getting into the space of like honoring your position but without fear, being really confident. If you're feeling really sexual and sensual, just like, you know, doing it responsibly with the right partner and the right thing, because this energy might make you feel really horny and really creative at this time. And that will be a great way for like sexual healing or transmuting your fears, right? So I would even say like, you know, doing some shadow work. Some of y'all might, you know, be getting really aggressive, because the 8th house, when it comes down to the fears here, you're really gonna have to mind your emotions, like especially with the moon squaring Mars in Cancer. Your fears can lead you to destruction. And you know, sometimes destruction is necessary to break down what is not serving you no more, so that you could build a new foundation. And Pisces, your reminder about that is like, don't be afraid of change. Don't be afraid to start all over. Don't be afraid to build something that is conducive to, you know, healthy, meaningful connections, and honoring your, honoring yourself, you know, honoring your position. Yeah. So did I pull out cards for y'all? No, I did not. Let's see here what messages we have here for Pisces. Pisces, yeah, I have the star. So this is about wishes being fulfilled. This is also about healing. You know, for some of you with the wishes being fulfilled, I feel like that's only if you already are in the building phase of building something new. Maybe you're into occultism and you're a healer or something like that, and you're going to be tapping into that energy more in the collective. Or maybe you are establishing like these healthy, meaningful connections with your soul tribe. You're in a higher vibration. You're meant to, you know, like you're able to see beyond the veil. You're able to see through people's bullshit. You're really in tune with your intuition and whatnot. But if you've integrated your shadows, you're not in the space of self-sabotaging, right? If you are not in that healed space and you're in the shadow space, this is about healing any depression, healing any anxiety, allowing yourself. And then you have the 2 of Cups. So this is about healing your relationship with yourself and your relationship with your partners here. You're going to have to be strong, right? You're going to have to be strong for this new beginning, right? With the Fool card here. It's like, allow yourself to if there's any like inner child trauma bonds, inner child fears or something like that maybe got in your way. Maybe you were keeping yourself in an abusive relationship because that's what you grew up around or you're used to or something like that. Or a lot of like manipulation or something like that. This could be something that you need to heal for the sake of bringing balance and harmony back into your life so that you can truly see beyond the veil and get your wishes fulfilled. But your wishes will not be fulfilled until you get into a space of healing that which is hindering you, that which is your fears, that's keeping you away from your highest and greatest good. The fears that present itself or the energies that's presenting itself is not to keep you trapped and enabling you to keep in the same situation, but to liberate you, to destroy and rebuild yourself anew, so that you are not a victim to your own demise, right? You're not a victim to your fears. You're actually feeling the fear and doing it anyways. You're getting out of your own way and you're not afraid of change. You're allowing yourself to heal. You're allowing yourself to say, I am worthy of receiving my greatest potential. I am worthy of being my true authentic self. I am worthy of honoring my higher purpose, right? I am worthy of healthy, meaningful connections and connecting with my soul tribe. Prayer is going to be a big thing for some of you here, or even just like spell work or something like that. I would even say if you feel like there's been some spell work done on you, do a spiritual cleanse. This could also be like saying like any spells that have been, any spells consciously, any energies, entities, beings that sent to me consciously or subconsciously, sent my way, that's not serving my highest and greatest good. I return it back to source to be neutralized. I transmute that energy to serve my highest and greatest good at this time. I break every spell that has been casted against my highest and greatest good. That is my commandment. That is my will. And so it is done now. Maybe things like that. Yeah. See, y'all got the Eight of Pentacles. So you're going to have to really vocalize, vocalize the changes that you want in your life and not give up on yourself. Really believe in yourself, trust in yourself. You're going to have to preserve your energy, not from a space of fear, but from a space of like, creating the healthy boundaries from that which is depleting you, from that which is draining you, right? And step out of your fears, purify that space and transmute it into a higher frequency for you. This might also be calling back your power and stepping into your power. Maybe you're getting encouraged to take all that negativity to feed and fuel you, to motivate you into the space of confidence, into the space of like not suppressing your emotions, not letting your fears hinder you, but allowing yourself to grow. Whew, excuse me. All right, y'all. So that is all signs. I assure that please take what resonates and leave the rest behind. I assure that any messages that came through for the collective was for any and all of those of you who needed to hear whatever messages was pertaining for you, to you. If you would like to book a more personalized reading or one-on-one, you can DM me or email me at switchingdacode@gmail.com and schedule your one-on-one. And until next time, y'all, may you be delivered clarity, wholeness, harmony, good health, good wealth, good fortune. Allow yourself to go through this portal to serve your highest and greatest good. Release the trauma bonds. Close out the cycles that is not serving your highest good, and really connect and collaborate with the energies that's really wanting to pour into you, that's loving on you, that's nourishing you. It's not about separation. In spirit, there is no separation. In wholeness, there is no separation, but it's allowing everybody to be in their divine alignments, right? It's allowing everybody to be in their truth. So being your truth. Let everybody play themselves out as where they need to be, and then you respond accordingly. All right, y'all? So that is the collective messages for everybody involved. I'm gonna edit this and upload it onto YouTube for those of you who are just coming in and wanting to watch the replay. And then I'm more than likely going to come back on live on IG while that's editing on the other side, just to kick it with my homies. So I love you all. May y'all have a good night. Bye. Thank you for tapping in. 10845. We're going to close this space and allow you to be in your own sovereignty.